We are at the PIHRA member orientation. This orientation is for uh, current members, new members, members who have coming back after a bit of a lapse, or people who are not members and are interested in finding out more about PIHRA, the membership benefits, and professional development opportunities before they make that decision. Everyone is welcome here, and I'm excited to have you all. A little housekeeping, we are recording this. We have been doing the member orientations, gosh, for several years now, going on maybe 5 or 6 years. And we record them and we put them on our PIHRA YouTube channel. So you will get an email uh, uh, with the link to our YouTube channel, and you'll also get a copy, a PDF copy of all the slides that I'll be sharing with you today. So it's not necessary to take notes on what is on the slides, but you might want to take notes on different things that we discuss. My goal uh, today is to spend the next 60 minutes with you. I appreciate that you're spending your lunchtime with us today. So I want to make sure that the next 60 minutes are important and to you. So what does that mean? I want to make sure that you get answers to the questions you have. So you'll see as we get to the agenda that we're going to do a poll, just asking you, what is it that you want to walk away from this a webinar with? So I see that there's a transcription going on, and I just want to apologize in advance. This is our first time using Teams, so I may be pausing for a second, checking to see if I see anything in the chat. Please use the chat to interact. That is our primary way of interacting. Please start connecting. I see that some of my team, who I'm going to be introducing you to in a moment, has provided their LinkedIn. Please do that. Let us know where you're cybering in from. So the chat's going to be primary. If you have questions or anything or want to comment, use that. I have a lot of content, so I think I will be using the 60 minutes, but we may have time to have you unmute and ask a question live. So be sure to know that that's a possibility as well. Okay, so please make sure to put your questions in the chat, and I'll be pausing from time to time. I'm not looking at the chat 100% of the time during the webinar, but I will pause and take a look. So what are we covering today? In the welcome and general update, we'll do a little bit more of that in a moment. We're going to do the poll that I told you about. What is it that you want to walk away from this webinar with, so that you can make a decision on what your next step is with PIHRA, or perhaps you're not a member yet and you need some information to make that decision. So please let us know. I'll focus on those things. Then I'll introduce myself a little bit more. You hopefully see my name in my video tile, but I'll introduce myself a little bit more, members of my team, and our special guest with us, Natalie Will. Really excited to introduce you to her. Then we'll go into a PIHRA overview. We'll talk about some PIHRA member benefits. I may talk a little bit about SHRM. We are an affiliate of SHRM, so I'll talk a little bit about that. Learning and networking opportunities at PIHRA will be covered, and then we'll just wrap it up with any final questions and things of that sort. So let's get going. General update. I do this because in the last 3-4 years, things have changed significantly, and what was wonderful about those changes is that we were able to provide a lot of virtual professional development. So right now, our chapters and PIHRA, and I'll talk a little bit about our structure in a moment, we are offering around 2 to 3 webinars per month. This month is a little different, and I'll share with you why, but they're free to members, and it's a great opportunity to connect virtually, to get the professional development you need without commuting. I know sometimes our time is even more constrained now, so leaving the office and going to an event might just be time constrictive. So this is a good way to handle that. And also, if you are HR certified through HRCI or SHRM, you get recertification credits and they're free. And there's some great, I have a list at the end of the slide deck of all the different things going on, including a webinar that happened today, actually really early morning. But just to give you an example of some of the topics that we're covering. Also, PIHRA chapters are hosting in-person meetings. Most of our chapters, I would say 75 to 80% of them are meeting on a monthly basis, and they're having in-person meetings. That is definitely the way, and we'll talk a lot more about that, to get connected in our community. No other HR association in Southern California has the number of chapters and local HR community that PIHRA does. It's yeah, just yesterday, I'll talk a little bit, I could go on tangents, but just yesterday I was talking to our emerging leaders community, and what makes it so rich in terms of being a member are those communities at the chapter level. You're meeting people face to face, making long lasting relationships. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that is a huge benefit of being part of this community. Keep visiting the PIHRA calendar. That is where you're going to get the most updated information about what chapters are meeting, where are they meeting, because sometimes they meet in different places. Our chapters are not brick and mortar. In other words, they don't rent a facility that they're at 100% of the time. So they'll have a meeting at a hotel or at a restaurant. And sometimes they'll change it from month to month. And that's another thing that's fantastic about what's happened in the last several years, is that we're now able to meet our members where they're at. So traditionally, our chapters would meet for early morning breakfast meeting, have professional development, and then people would go to work after that. Well, I have a young child. I have to get to school. I'm not able to get to those early morning meetings. So now our chapters are doing different things. They're meeting in the morning. They're having lunch labs, and they're also doing socials in the evening that include an educational component. So um, there's meetings at all times of the day. So we are eager to meet you, and it's just a great community for you to be a part of, and we want you to be a part of that. Okay, so now we're going to get to the poll. I'm going to see if I could launch this successfully. By the way, this is the first time we've done this on Teams. We were Zoom people in the past, so I think this will be fine. Let me know. The polls, I'm looking for the poll. Let's see, where are you, poll? It's loading. Give me a moment. But when the poll loads, I'll share it with you. Just think about, Teams is great when you just, thanks, Stacy. I need that encouragement. I do really like Teams, So, but I'm going to launch this poll, and think about that one thing you want to walk away from this webinar with. What is the information you want to walk away from? Whether it's more information about PIHRA chapters, the monthly meetings, seminars, and conferences. Maybe you're interested in HR certification or to volunteering. All right, I see you guys are able to. Wait, are you able to see the poll? Let me see your faces. Yes?
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, thank you. It says I need to go back here. Okay. Anyway, am I launching it? No, I haven't launched it yet. See, I told you this was going to be a little tricky for me. Here we go. It's live.
Okay.
I think this is working now. Um, and so hopefully you see it. Please respond if you see the poll, letting me know. Again, do you want information about volunteering? Are you interested in what the PIHRA and SHRM connection is, or anything else? So let me see if I could view the results. Okay, you're responding. Okay, this is a little different than Zoom. Let me see if you want to put in the chat. I see it, but it's not letting me vote. Let me see if I could put it up again. Yes, same for me. Okay, let's see, poll. Some of you were able to, I think. The vote is above the results in the chat. Maybe they're not seeing it? Is that what you're saying, Stacy? Okay. Click on the voting option.
I don't know if I'm off mute, but if they scroll up in the chat, you should see the voting option above. It says like live poll above where the results were displayed.
All right. Is everybody, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and okay, it looks like 5, 6, 7, 8 of you have voted. Thanks, Stacy. I need to hire you for next time. Okay, so if you didn't see it, I do see it in the chat. So if for some reason you can't vote using the poll, just in the chat put in, what are you interested in? And we'll be looking for that. And I know this is like the one thing you're interested in. So if you're interested in more than one thing, let us know in the chat what you're interested in hearing about. So what I'm seeing is that PIHRA seminars and conferences is interesting to you all. Certification. We got one person interested in monthly meetings, 2 about the SHRM and PIHRA connection. And what else? Okay, 8 responses. The HR certification, volunteering. Okay. Okay, so I am going to, I think that I don't have to stop sharing, right? Oh yeah, maybe I do. I'm going to stop sharing the poll. Well, thank you so much for doing that with me. I am now going to continue on and focusing on the Sherman PIHRA connection, certification I heard come up a lot, the seminars and conferences, volunteering, and monthly meetings. So let's get going because we have a lot to cover. I know you have a lot. And feel free, like Stacy did, unmute if you're, having trouble using the chat or if no one's looking, no one's seeing your chat, just unmute. We're fine. I'm fine with that. I really appreciate it too. Okay, so a little bit about my team. I'm there in the middle. My name is Liliana Arguello. Everyone calls me Lily, and
Lily, we can't see your slide.
Oh.
I think you stopped sharing.
Okay, let me start sharing again. Thanks. Okay, thank you. I'm here in the middle. I am the director of membership. I joined PIHRA in 2014, so it's been a while. I'm hitting my 11-year mark next month, and I started my career in organizational development, strategic planning, working with HR, and so my career did a couple of turns, and I went into membership. Partnership building for the membership function at the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles. And so PIHRA is just a great marriage between my experience working with the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles, which is, they put on one of the largest leadership development programs for young women in the world. So it's just a great marriage between my organizational development and my membership experience. So I love working with PIHRA. And we have a great team. I really quickly want to introduce you to Sonia Montiel, who is on the left-hand side of the slide. She is a volunteer. PIHRA, I am on staff, but PIHRA is primarily volunteer-led. So I'm going to be introducing you to some of our volunteers. Sonia Montiel just joined the board and is the chair of the membership committee and my connection and liaison with the board. So you'll see her at events. She is a member advocate and just actually a great leader, and her background's in leadership development in the educational sector. I also want to introduce you and let actually Elisette introduce herself. She is my right hand on the membership team. So Elisette, you want to unmute for a moment and introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Lily. And hi, everybody. Thank you again for joining us today. As you can see, I've been looking at your messages in the chat and liking. So throughout the webinar, I'll be doing that. And like Lily mentioned, she'll be pausing from time to time to answer your questions. So feel free to interact with us via the chat. And just a bit about me, I am the membership coordinator here at PIHRA. I've been with PIHRA for 8 years. I think I'm going on 9 years later this year. So 8.5 years. And like Lily mentioned, we have a great team of staff and also wonderful volunteers that help lead our organization. And so we are very dedicated to helping you get the most out of your membership. I may be the first person you speak to if you dial the main number on the screen. So feel free to reach out to us, Lily and I, and Sonia as well. We're very accessible, so feel free to always connect with us, call us, email us if there's anything we can help with or answer if you have any questions or concerns. So thanks again for joining us, and I hope you get the best out of this webinar.
Yeah, Elisette, thank you. Elisette has been my partner for so long. She's fantastic. She has a little baby at home, so she's been doing all this with the baby at home and one on the way. So Elisette, I appreciate you so much. And it is our commitment to you on the membership team. If you need anything, email us. That's the best way to get a hold of me, actually, is so my email is on this slide. My commitment and my expectation is that we get back to you within 24 hours of a working day. Sometimes I get back to you even quicker, and sometimes I need to slow down a little bit, but I want you to hear this. If you have any questions, you're frustrated, you can't find something, something's not working on the website, you can't log into Mineral, just email me. I usually can resolve it or get it resolved as soon as possible. So we're here for you. We want you to have the best membership experience possible, and that's why we're here. So now I'm really excited because I get to introduce you to Natalie Will. Why am I going to call you Natalie Wood, Natalie? Sorry.
Sounds like
But thank you for
celebrity. I like
joining.
it. That's okay. Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to meet you. So my name is Natalie. I'm currently the board chair for PIHRA North OC chapter, and I have been a PIHRA member since 2022. So I just happened to after COVID, I just wanted to get more involved. I wanted to see people in person. And so I just happened to stroll across a mixer that was happening for the PIHRA North OC chapter back in the summer of 2022. And met Ron, met some of the other folks that were on the board at that time, and just fell in love with the chapter and everything that it had to offer. So I've been a member, started as a secretary for the chapter. And then last year, was my first year as board chair. So going on year 2 in the chair seat, and absolutely love it. And we have some great and exciting things coming up. So aside from that, in terms of the HR profession, I've been working in HR for 17 years now. And most of my HR experience has been with more on the private, family-owned type business industries, from manufacturing, retail, automotive, cosmetic, beauty, private equity. More recently, in my current firm, I'm with a public accounting firm. I've been here for 3 years now. I've done a little bit of all things HR, currently a department of one. So I know what it means to have to be a multitasker and wear multiple hats, but happy to be here today. So thank you.
Natalie's so glad that you're here. So if anyone's in the Orange County area and wondering what is a PIHRA meeting like, Natalie's going to share that with us. And also, connect with her on LinkedIn, because I'm sure at upcoming meetings, she'll be happy to kind of see you there and make sure you feel comfortable. So thank you, Natalie, for being here with us.
Yes, thank you.
It's a treat. Okay, so let's get going with PIHRA. What is PIHRA? What are we doing here? This is our mission. I'm not going to read it to you, but we exist for the human resources community in Southern California, and we serve all of California, actually. We're really well known for being experts and having a cadre of California-focused subject matter experts. So one of the things that we do every year is the California Employment Law Update. It's happening in October, where we bring in all the attorneys that are focused on California law. And we do it in October because it's right after the governor signs in all the laws. So that's why people come to us. We do it through innovative programming. So I always use North OC as an example, Natalie. I don't know if you know that, but so if you go to a North OC event, 1 month they're having a more traditional lecture style breakfast meeting. The next month they're doing a workshop focused lunch. And then the third month, they'll have some really killer social at like the foundation room at California, what is it, Disney, downtown Disney, or that location near Disneyland. So it's just a great group, and some of our chapters do very similar things. So this is where you're going to meet a lot of different people. Before I move on, this is our 80th anniversary. We were established in 1944. Gosh, 1944 seems like a long time ago. And guess what? It's 80 years ago. We were established by a group of personnel managers who decided to meet in downtown LA. That's why we have 18. I'm going to show you a map of our chapters. We used to call our chapters districts, and they had numbers. So downtown Los Angeles chapter, which we call PIHRA LA, they were District 1, and that's the reason, because this group met there. This is where I like to start talking about SHRM. We were established before SHRM. SHRM was established, I think, in 1947, 1948 in Indiana or Illinois, that area. I forget exactly what state. And they grew and grew and grew. So SHRM, the Society of Human Resource Management, they're a global HR community, and they have over 200,000 members. They have in the United States, they have over 550 chapters. So we or affiliates. We are the largest SHRM affiliate in the United States, because I get those reports. I actually think we're the largest SHRM affiliate in the world. They do have affiliates in China and India, but I think we're even bigger with 3,500 members. So that's the connection with SHRM. We are a SHRM affiliate in good standing. If you have any other questions about SHRM, please put them in the chat. I'd be happy to respond to them. And let me know if there's something in the chat, Natalie and Elisette, that great, that I need to pay attention to. I do see that some of the questions are being answered. Fantastic. So I mentioned earlier, we are primarily volunteer-led. So volunteer. Someone asked about volunteering. Let me introduce you to our top volunteer, Susan Bowman, who's here at the top. She is HR certified, and I'm going to show you some statistics about our membership in a moment. But HR certification is very important to our community. She has several certifications. She is the president of the board for 2025, 2026. So PIHRA has an association-wide board, and we also have boards at the chapter level. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So there's so many ways to volunteer. If you're just getting started, like Natalie was talking about, she started volunteering at the chapter level. And the chapters are quite autonomous, so there's different sorts of positions at each of the chapters. Susan's fantastic. She formerly was with Rite Aid. You're going to see her at a lot of PIHRA events right now. She's making the rounds, and she'll be at the conference I'm going to tell you about in a couple slides. Our conference is our largest conference in the year. It's the California HR Conference, and it's happening May 4th through 6th. Also on the slide is Rafael Rivera. He is our Chief Executive Officer, and he is staff. So I report to Rafael. I really credit Raphael for getting PIHRA through the pandemic. Pre-pandemic, we were hitting all of our goals. We were at almost 5,000 members, and you'll see where we're at now. So we had accomplished a lot together. He built a fantastic team. He rebranded our annual conferences. So the California HR Conference, which is happening in May, it used to be called the Annual PIHRA Conference. Pre-pandemic in 2019, we were the largest HR conference west of the Mississippi. Now I'm not quite so sure because there's a lot of competition going on. But he's just done a fantastic job, and he's very accessible on LinkedIn. So find him on LinkedIn and feel free to let him know how you felt about this webinar too. All right, who's our members? We didn't get a lot of questions about this, but wanted to give you a sense of who our membership base is. Right now we have right around 3,450 members. They represent over 2,300 types of organizations. The industries most represented by our members are manufacturing, consulting, nonprofit, healthcare, and education. Although they run the gamut in terms of the industries represented, from aerospace to smaller firms like CPA firms and things of that sort. So I'm sure there's someone that in our community that is in an industry that you might be a part of or interested in being a part of. 40% of our members are at the HR business partner, HR manager level, generalist sorts of folks. 20% are HR directors, and right around 8% are HR vice presidents and above, CHROs as well. The other group I'd like to point out is 6% of our members are service providers. So what does that mean? Those are folks who are HR adjacent. They serve the HR community. They can be insurance brokers, financial advisors, health and wellness folks, and things of that sort. Don't be afraid of them. They are some of the best connectors ever. So if you want to network, they're here to build relationships. And I know that I've gone for example, PIHRA Long Beach. That actually, I was a member, by the way, before I ever joined staff. And my first chapter meeting was with PIHRA Long Beach. And I went a couple years ago, and one of our service provider volunteers stood up and said, "Hey, I know of an HR director position in downtown Los Angeles. If anybody's interested, please contact me and I'll make the connection for you." So all those connections are very important. And so don't fear them. Most of them do not have a aggressive sales strategy. So they're there trying to understand HR pain points just like we are. So I did mention earlier, excuse me, HR certification is important to our community. I got my SHRM SEP during the pandemic in 2021. Oh my gosh, it is so worth it. There's statistics. I got a pay increase when I got my SHRM's SCP, but there's statistics out there that you can increase your salary by up to 20,000% with the senior certified professional designations. So HRCI has one called the SPHR, and SHRM has the SHRM SCP. So we'll talk a little bit more about certification, but I think it's worthwhile. I did spend a lot of time studying for it, so it is an investment. Okay, I'm going to transition into talking about our chapters, but first I need to have a little drink of water. So I'm going to pause for a moment. But here is a map of all of our chapters. Actually, Natalie, do you want to talk a little bit about North OC and what people can expect at a North OC chapter meeting here?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So PIHRA North OC. So as Lily mentioned a moment ago, so yeah, 80 years in the business. So our chapter itself is also, we have a great rich history too. So we have members that have been with our chapter, we're talking 15 plus years and more. So really great community. And I would say what you could expect, as we speak at this very moment, we currently have a program going on at Carl Strauss, and just started about 30 minutes ago. And the presentation is around immigration, the laws and updates, and some alternatives if you have individuals that don't get selected in the lottery, what that means for your employees. So they are talking all of that topic at the moment as we speak. But generally speaking, we host programs on a monthly basis. And as Lily mentioned, we like to rotate. So the beginning of the year, we usually do like a big breakfast program to kick off the year. It's usually employment law updates. We also do a handbook update as well. And we are currently, in terms of events coming up, for those of you that do plan on going to the California HR conference, we will be having a networking event that for Monday evening, so May the 5th. It will be at Puesto Bar, so it's our Cinco de Mayo networking event, and it starts at 7:30 p.m. So I'll be there along with some of our other board members too. So if you're in the area, we'd love to have you. Love for you to stop by. And we have a few other programs currently in process, getting ready to wrap up the year. And we usually do like to do like a summer mixer as well. So if we're not having the mixer at the Foundation Room, we also have had mixers at Brewery X. But generally, a lot of our programs are sort of here in the heart of Orange County. So very, very accessible. And we try to do a variety of different time frames so that we can, reach a larger network. So yeah,
Thank
that's a
you,
little bit about what to
Natalie,
expect.
for covering me. I had a cough there for a second. But yeah, so Natalie's a great person to learn more about North OC. North OC is our third largest chapter. And I see in the chat, Catalina asked, can you attend any chapter meeting? Yes, absolutely. When you become a member, you select your preferred chapter, and so you'll be on the chapter roster for that chapter, but you can attend any meeting. You could change chapters at any time. So if you're interested in volunteering, I definitely go to different chapters because each one has their culture. Each one's a little tribe, but they're very welcoming. So we have our largest chapter is PIHRA South OC. They meet out of Irvine usually, and Natalie, you're mostly in Anaheim Hills, right? So there's a little bit of a distance.
Yeah, that's about right.
Right. So they're our largest chapter pre-pandemic. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't be doing that, but I just like the good old days. Pre-pandemic, you would go to a South OC event and you'd meet 100 people there. Right now, you'll meet like 40, 50. And I think North OC, you probably get to that 60 to 80 people at a meeting type of thing. So right now, you go to a North OC meeting, it depends. It might be 30 people, it might be 100 people, it just depends on the topic. But what is fantastic about what you were saying, Natalie, is that you're really doing topics that are current. That are impacting HR right now. This immigration thing, I think, if you're in manufacturing or different sorts of organizations like that, you're worried about like, okay, what does this mean? How do we comply? If you're like me, like I want peace and quiet at work. I don't, how do I, maneuver and navigate this? The other things I wanted to share, and if you have any questions in the chat, because someone asked about monthly meetings, is basically there is a fee to attend. They're in person, so our chapters have to pay the venue. There's usually a meal. So when you walk in, the hospitality team will greet you, you'll register, there's networking, then you'll sit down, there'll be breakfast or lunch typically, and pretty hearty. I mean, there's a hearty breakfasts really. And then there'll be some announcements, then there'll be professional development, so whatever the topic is, with some great expert speakers, and you'll receive recertification credit. Usually when you leave, you get a certificate of attendance, or they'll email that to you afterwards. And they're usually like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. So they'll take place at a hotel or at a restaurant or some sort of event venue that is convenient. So hopefully that gives you information that you need. Attend, please set a goal for yourself. like Natalie, I think you were saying after the pandemic, you're like, I just need to get out there. I need to meet some people. I still feel like that. I like to disclose because it's true. I get social anxiety. So I tend to be like, okay, let me just stay home or let me just go to my yoga class and come home. But I have to make it a point for myself to set goals to go to professional development events or networking events at least once a quarter. So I'm going to have a list of things. And Natalie just put something, the Cinco de Mayo is going to be fun. Wait till I get to talking about uh, the conference. The conference is fantastic. So meet North OC at Puesto. Do they have to pay or is it free? Space is limited. This will sell out, by the way. So
Yeah,
if she's
space is
inviting
limited.
you, I would RSVP right away. um, but yeah, please get out there. So if it's not PIHRA, attend another sort of organizational event. Don't do your career alone and don't do, life alone. Get out there. One of the things that I ask, and I'm going to try to, in the effort of continuing, I'm just going to continue my slides before I say this. It's important to have a community. When I ask our volunteers and our longtime members, and I'm going to get to the slide in a moment, why do you keep coming back? Like Natalie said, there's people in North OC, I think they've been around for 20 years or something like that. Why do you keep coming back? And one of my friends from PIHRA Long Beach said, Lily, I met my best friend at PIHRA Long Beach, and they go everywhere in terms of professional development, and then they do personal things together. I've met some lovely people that I go hiking with through PIHRA. So you never know who you're going to meet and make that lifelong connection. If you are not a member right now and you're trying to figure out, like, can I do this? Is it worth it to me? Right now, it's our 80th anniversary. We have this $80 a year special just this year. It's for HR practitioners only. So I apologize if you don't meet that criteria. And basically, that is someone working in HR in-house for an organization. So not for consultants. Or those that are adjacent to HR, but someone who is in HR. It's $80, the deal of the century. And here's the URL to get to it, but you could always reach out to me or at Lisette and we'll help you get there. Are there any plans to expand the chapter locations in Northern California? Stacy, unfortunately, we do not have any current plans, but we do have an affiliate, a SHRM affiliate called Northern California SHRM. They're up there, depending exactly where you are. I'd be happy, and I'll send this in the follow-up email, the SHRM locator map, because I think they have some chapters in Central Coast area and things like that. So great question. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. So hope and share this slide with anybody that you know on your team that might want to join as well. Okay, I already talked about this, but here's some popular benefits. HR education, I've talked about. This is where you're going to get affordable, accessible, and actionable professional development. I doubt you could, unless you go to free events, you're not going to get as affordable professional development as you do here. We're known for our California focus. With your membership, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, I think, on the next slide, you get free access to unlimited calls to an HR advisory hotline. So if you ever need that third opinion or you want to look like a superstar or you're HR department of one like Natalie, you want to call and they respond with any documentation that you need. And they're not attorneys, they're senior HR certified folks, but they can point you to the information that you need. We have an online platform that has a smart employee handbook builder. So another way for you to save some time. It'll build the handbook for you, for your organization. And it has laws and policies from all 50 states. So you can, if you want to build a handbook for each state you operate in, you could do that, or you can upgrade to do just one handbook with multi-state policies in there, but that is an upgrade. Told you about the free webinars, and then building relationships, that's really priceless. So these are the benefits that our members come to us and say, this is why I'm a PIHRA member. Here's a little bit more about the online platform. So we offer what we call the PIHRA Workplace. It's through Mineral. So some of you might recognize the name Mineral, or it used to be Think HR. Our members get free access. There are hundreds of policies in there. There's all kinds of information. You can spend hours in Mineral. You have the PIHRA, so that's a compliance center. Then Live is that HR hotline that I was telling you about. You can call this number as many times as you want and get input from them. They also have an online version where you could just log in and ask the question online. And then this is what I don't think any other provider of Mineral offers is PIHRA Learn. This is an enterprise-wide learning management software that you can create learning tracks for your employees to do trainings on. And there's around 200 core courses. There's harassment courses, customer service courses, and things like that. The mandatory courses, like for sexual harassment for managers, and I think there's a mandatory OSHA, those aren't free, but you could upgrade to those. So these are things that you get with your PIHRA membership. I will tell you this, logging on, it's a partner site, so it can be temperamental. If you have any problems, just email me. I can fix it. 95% of the time, I can fix it within 24 hours and get you on there. But this is a great way for you to save money, create a sense of like you know what you're doing in your department, and I really suggest that you use these tools and also go to the events that we're offering to meet people, and that way you'll have uh, an external mode to help you in your career and to answer the tough questions that you may be facing at work. Because I know HR, it's not easy, and you want to be prepared. Really quickly, we have a corporate type membership. So if this is something you're interested in, you'll get this slide and I'd be happy to talk to you further about that. Volunteering, where am I at time? Okay. Nothing in the chat, right? Should I pause for a second? Anyone have a question so far?
No, Lily, but I added the webinar on Mineral tomorrow
Oh,
in case
good.
anybody wants to learn more about it.
Yeah, so thank you, Elisa. We're tomorrow what time is it? 10 o'clock, I think it is tomorrow. We are hosting a demo of Mineral, and we'll show you how to log in and like what's in there. So thank you for reminding me about that. That's free too, so you might as well, if you have time, do that. Volunteering. A couple of you asked about this. For me, this is our best kept secret. And this is my philosophy about volunteering. It's networking on steroids. So there's that saying, it's who you know. I don't necessarily agree with with that who you know sort of thing. My philosophy is it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And volunteering with PIHRA is a low risk way for people to get to know you at a different level, for you to build those leadership skills, or you probably have leadership skills, but you just need to have them shine. And this is a place where people are going to see your work ethic, your quality of work, the way you manage your time, the way you deal with difficult situations, your interpersonal skills. And if you're lucky enough, you have a supervisor at work that is watching out that you are taking on these and you're a self-starter and taking on these sorts of leadership opportunities. And once they see that, they will start thinking of you in that light. Sometimes it takes that. Hopefully you're lucky enough to have a supervisor that is pushing you toward these sorts of leadership opportunities so that you can grow, and then that translates into a progression in your career. So if you have any questions about volunteering, I will also, and Natalie, you might have something to chime in on, but I got this job because of my volunteering. Rafael Rivera found me through LinkedIn because he was in the association world, and I had worked with one of my MBA colleagues to start the first professional chapter of the National Association of Women MBAs. And so I took on a leadership position with National Association of Women MBAs, and that's how I got this job. So these things, it kind of leads to something else. Natalie, do you have, how has being a volunteer impacted you?
Absolutely. I love how you said networking on steroids. It's very funny, but true. It really has broadened my networking, my access to resources. Really quickly, I'm a firm believer in mineral HR. Absolutely love it. I use it in my daily life here at my current job, from the harassment trainings to soft skills trainings for my up and coming managers. The HR advisory hotline, I'm using that very frequently, even 17 years in the game. When you're busy and you're, siloed focusing on a project, those are going to be the times where you might miss something, right? So just getting that second opinion, quick call, just making sure you're on the same page, or the advisor giving you another perspective on how to look at a situation you're dealing with. So I, hands down, firm believer. But back to volunteering, yeah, I mean, I absolutely love it. I think one of the stigmas out there is, well, how much time? I don't have a lot of time. I'm very busy in my job, or I've never had any experience volunteering. I don't know if I'm the right fit. Just kind of put those aside. PIHRA is so welcoming to anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter if you have zero experience to little experience to a lot of experience. Uh, your other board members, the other people in the PIHRA community will help you succeed to make sure that your volunteer experience is a positive one. So um, it's been very, very rewarding for me, and it's really enhanced my profession. Being able to just call on other professions and get advice, or be my sounding board, if you will. Being in a department of one is just nice to have that support in that community.
I love hearing that. So we need to get more people to use Mineral. And the thing with Mineral, and I know we're talking about volunteering, but California, things are changing so rapidly in California and in the United States right now because of executive policy decisions. So we need all the resources we can get. So thank you for adding that. Okay, let's shift over to learning and networking. This is kind of my favorite part. So I've mentioned before, there's so many different opportunities to learn and connect with people at PIHRA. We have virtual learning, the chapter meetings, we have the conferences, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about, and then specialty programs like the PIHRA Power Series. And things of that sort. Keep visiting the calendar. We're updating that all the time. Members get the member rate. You get a minimum of at least $10 off registration fees. So and also special rates to the California HR Conference, Employment Law Update, and other events that we had. We just had a talent summit, which was fantastic in Newport Beach. And so you would get a discount on that if you're a member. Excuse me. Talked about webinars. There's one coming, there was one this morning, and I think we might have one on the list that I'm going to supply that's coming up. But we're going dark soon because of the California HR conference. So I think I have one more slide before we get to that. HR certification. Some of you asked about HR certification. If there is something specific that you'd like to know about HR certification, please let me know. But really quickly, PIHRA is not a certification agency. HRCI, which I'm going to put just so you have this, hrci.org, and then SHRM certification. If you Google SHRM certification, those are the two main certification institutions that exist right now. The process is you apply to take the exam. I know this is the HRCI process, and I think SHRM has a similar process. Then you study for the exam and you pay for the exam, and I think you select the window in which you take the exam. That's how it worked when I got my certification. Just to let you know, again, I don't see any specific questions in the chat, but I studied over 175 hours to pass the SHRM SCP. The SHRM SCP, it's for senior certified folks. And I took it because it connected me with what I did as an organizational development consultant. So the strategic planning, the organizational structure, corporate culture studies, leadership development, and how to evaluate that succession planning. So that really aligned with my background. But the pass rate for the SHRM SCP is around 55 to 60%. It's not an easy test. The SHRM CP and the PHR, the pass rates are a little higher, so it's around 70 to 80%. But I just want you to know, unless, and everyone's different. I am not a great test taker, and I know that about myself. So this journey is so unique to each individual. Also, if you have, depending on your level of education, that might help. So I got my MBA, so I knew how to deal with some of the ratios a little differently, or I knew how to deal with the ratios and understood the ratios a lot more than if I hadn't done my MBA. I think it would have been more difficult for me. So um, now, I have met individuals who they're great test takers. They study by themselves for 2 or 3 months. They get, a book from Barnes and Noble or whatever, and they pass the first time. It's just not me. So you really have to think about what do you know about yourself? But I did take the prep courses through PIHRA. I think we have one of the best preparation instructors. Richard Dawson is fantastic. I'd be happy to connect you on LinkedIn with him. He's become a mentor to me. Uh, but the prep courses for me are not enough. I had to read every single book in the SHRM Learning Manage. I love the SHRM Learning Management System for the SHRM SCP or CP. It's fantastic. I still have the books, even though they're still probably a little outdated. But there's 7 books. Some of them are thick as that. I read every single word. I took every practice test, but it's worth it. You feel if you suffer from imposter syndrome or you're just feeling like, do that because you're never going to feel like you're an imposter again. Because if you do that, you could do anything. So that's my little spiel on certification. I hope that was helpful. If you have any other questions, I don't see anything else in the chat. So I'm going to just move forward, but highly encourage you to do uh, um, HR certification. It's worth it. And we give these prep courses. And I think there's a prep course coming up that's going to be on the slide I'm presenting. All right. California HR Conference. I think a couple of you might be attending Sunday, May 4th. We're going to have our reception. I think it starts at 4:30 in the afternoon on that Sunday. May the 4th be with you. It's going to be a Star Trek theme. And so this is the highlight of my year. I'm like standing up for 15 hours per day, but I love it. I get to see all of you. Not only is it fun and you meet all kinds of people and there's networking, but there's learning sessions every hour on the hour. We have general sessions all day Monday and Tuesday. I think you can earn, and it all comes on demand. If you purchase the all access pass, for the 2.5 days, you get it on demand. So if you were to see every learning session, I think there's like 36 hours of learning going on during this conference. What else can I tell you? Cinco de Mayo, we're going to have a Cinco de Mayo themed lunch, and there's meet to eat in the evening on Sunday. And I think that, so for example, North OC is having a get together at Puesto nearby where we're going to be in Anaheim. This is going to be at the Anaheim Hilton Anaheim, and I'm just looking forward to it. But if anyone has questions about or want to chime in about the conference, let me know. Oh, yay, Stacy, you're attending.
Yeah, I'd be happy to share my experience. So
Great.
last year was my first time at California HR. And yes, I absolutely loved it. From the minute you walk in, you feel the energy. It's really hard to describe. It's just a very great place to be, especially if you're in the profession of HR. And I loved every workshop that they offer there. All of the topics that they bring to these conferences are true in real life situations. what's happening around the world, and in terms of HR trends, they hit every topic, which is great. And also, there's like a marketplace there. I don't know what you call
Yeah,
it,
we're
but
calling the Experience Center this
the
year.
Experience Center. Okay. Yeah. And I highly recommend stopping by there. There's going to be multiple vendors. So maybe you're looking for a new background check company. Maybe you need a new payroll software company. Maybe you're looking for, employee perks, whatever the case may be. They literally hit every topic. So it's a great way to just also check out other vendors, see what other companies are doing out there, and, being able to bring back that information to your company so that you can kind of show them what's going on and what we could do, right? So it's a very rewarding experience, and I'm looking forward to it this year.
You know what's cool is that we're doing free coaching. So you have to sign up in advance. So there's a 15-minute career coaching. I've done some of this career coaching with these coaches. They're fantastic. Also this year, and I forget the company that's offering it, but there's 15-minute AI coaching. So how to use AI in HR, which now we're going to be even leaner than ever, and using AI is vital. So you could sign up for those. Everyone who's going, look at the site. There should be directions that you're getting via email on how to register for them. But they may run out. So Stacy has a question. You mentioned something about it being live streamed. May not the word used. Will any of the presentation be available after in case we have multiple ones? Yes. So all of the sessions are being recorded. Within 2 weeks of the conference, all those recordings will go up on the virtual conference platform, and you'll be able to see those on demand. I think they should be available for at least 2 months after the conference. So hopefully that answers that question. Yes. Oh, good. You signed up for the career coach. Yeah. And this AI coaching is really interesting as well. Okay, so I'm running out of time. I told you I was going to use all of our time. I can talk forever. I'm really excited about this. The HR cruise is coming in February 2026, and you can reserve your spot now. We've already got 2 people signed up. We have volunteers. We have over 200 volunteers. I think a lot of volunteers are going to try to sign up for this. We're going to Cabo. I think I'm supposed to go. I'm not sure. But we already have some wonderful speakers lined up. So Pal Falcone is going to be speaking. Eric DeWams, one of our expert California attorneys, will be there. And so I'm really excited about this. It's pretty affordable, especially if you go with a friend. So you could share the room with a friend or bring your family. And it's going to be 5 nights. I think 2 days are going to be full of HR content, and the other days you could just go to Cabo, um, hang out by the pool, and it's Royal Caribbean, which I think is pretty nice. So a great opportunity here for some professional development and fun. And then this is the slide I was telling you about. Again, set a goal for yourself to attend an event. I know that you might have difficulty getting away from the office. You might have social anxiety. You might say, I don't know anybody. Email me. I will connect you with someone there. Really set a goal for yourself to go to an event. I know some of you are going to the California conference. Great. Think about Q3 and Q4. Set up some time to do this. If it's not going to an event, call a former colleague or call your new HR friend and just invite them to coffee. But I want you to stay connected. We're a community here, and I think that's so important as we kind of move through the changes and uncertainty that are happening. Just going to happen, I think. I used to not think about change very much, but I always knew that like change is inevitable. Well, now it's real. It's like change is happening all the time. So today we have all kinds of things going on. Tomorrow, like tonight, Burbank Glendale, if you're around, they're going to go to bowling tonight in Burbank Glendale. We have some HR certification courses coming up. Some are at the California HR conference. We have a virtual class for the PHR and SPHR on May 17th. We have North OC's event isn't here at conference, but Natalie gave you that. We also have PIHRA Los Angeles is having an event on May 20th because they are doing a mentor program. So you don't have to be a part of the mentor program to go to their closing mixer if you want to find out more about our mentor programs that we're hoping all the chapters start doing. And so plenty of things going on. Thank you so much. I hope that you got the information you needed. Here, you can also connect with us online. And I'm over time, so sorry. We're We've got a huge LinkedIn community. Instagram is pretty active. We have people on Facebook, not so much on X, but you can look for us there. And thank you. I'm sorry it took longer than I'd like. I know that you all have plenty of things going on, and I really appreciate you being with us. Please reach out to me if you need anything. Welcome to the PIHRA community, and I hope you get the most out of your PIHRA membership. Natalie, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
All right, y'all. I'm adjourning the meeting. I'll stay on a little bit longer if you need anything, but I really appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your day and week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.